All right, let's get right into it. We're seeing a massive showdown between the three biggest names in the cloud: Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. And the prize? Well, it's nothing less than the future of AI in the enterprise. Their weapons of choice are AWS Bedrock, Azure OpenAI, and Vertex AI. Today, we're going to break down this absolute clash of the titans.
And look, you've got to understand, this is so much more than just a product comparison. This is the next great war for the cloud, and the battlefield is artificial intelligence. Why does it matter so much? Because the company that owns this AI layer is going to own the future of how businesses operate. Seriously, the platform your company picks today is going to have huge strategic ripple effects for years and years to come.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll meet the three giants and really get a feel for their core strategies. Then, we're going to put them head-to-head on the stuff that really matters to a business. After that, we'll help you figure out your own strategic fit, and finally, we'll reveal what is, for most people, the ultimate deciding factor.
Okay, so first things first, let's meet the big three. And it's important to know, these platforms aren't just a random collection of tools. No, they're each built around a really distinct philosophy for how they think your business should be using AI. First up, you've got AWS Bedrock. Amazon's play here is to be kind of the Switzerland of AI. They're betting that no single model is going to rule them all forever. So what do enterprises want? They want choice. They want neutrality. So Amazon built a marketplace. It gives you access to top models from Anthropic, Meta, and Mistral, right next to their own in-house Titan models. Their whole game is flexibility.
Next, we have Azure OpenAI. And Microsoft? Well, they're playing a totally different game. Their entire bet is on a deep, exclusive partnership and just incredible ecosystem integration. They went all in with OpenAI, giving you enterprise-level access to, the most famous AI model on the planet, GPT-4. And they're weaving it directly into the tools your team already uses every single day, like Microsoft 365 and Teams.
And finally, there's Google's Vertex AI. Google is leaning hard into what it does best: its deep, deep roots as a machine learning powerhouse. Their whole strategy is to give you a complete, end-to-end toolkit. It's not just about using their awesome pre-made models like Gemini. It's about empowering you to manage your data, train your own custom models, and then deploy them at massive scale. This one is really for the builders. Okay, so let's boil this down. Think of it like this. Bedrock is your open marketplace, giving you maximum choice. Azure OpenAI is the exclusive walled garden that gets you premier access to GPT-4. And Vertex AI, that's the custom workshop for teams that really need to build their own unique AI solutions. Three very, very different bets on the future.
All right, we know who they are. We know what they're about. Now, let's put them to the test. We're going to see how they stack up against each other on the criteria that actually matter when you're making a huge investment decision like this.
First up, and this is a big one, if your goal is to experiment, to avoid getting locked into one model provider, and you want the freedom to pick the absolute best tool for any specific job, who gives you the most options on the menu?
And for this one, there's a really clear winner: AWS Bedrock. This is its whole reason for existing. While Azure is pretty much all in on OpenAI and Google is mostly focused on its own Gemini model, Bedrock just gives you this incredible menu of top-tier models from all these different vendors. For pure, unadulterated choice, AWS takes the crown, hands down.
Okay, but choice isn't everything, right? What if you don't really care about having a dozen options? What if you just want access to what is, right now, arguably the most powerful industry-leading model out there? Well, for that, you've got to give it to Azure OpenAI. Thanks to that super tight partnership, they offer the official enterprise-grade secure pipeline to GPT-4. Now, I gotta say, Google's Gemini is right there. It is extremely competitive and closing that gap very, very fast. But for now, if having GPT-4 in your enterprise workflow is a non-negotiable, Azure is your most direct path.
But let's switch gears. What if you're not just looking to use a pre-built model? What if you need to get your hands dirty with fine-tuning? Training a model on your own company's data? Or maybe even building a completely custom model from scratch? Who gives you the best workshop for that?
And yeah, this is exactly where Google's Vertex AI just pulls ahead of the pack. It is, without a doubt, the most complete and powerful platform for that whole machine learning workflow. We're talking everything from prepping your data, to training, to deploying and managing it. The others let you do some customization, sure, but Vertex AI was purpose-built from the ground up for data scientists who need serious, scalable training tools.
Okay, this next one, this might just be the most important factor, even if it's not the flashiest. An AI model by itself is pretty useless. It has to plug into everything else. So how well does each platform connect with its parent company's broader cloud ecosystem?
And the answer is a three-way tie. And honestly, this tells you everything you need to know about the real strategy here. It's all about lock-in. AWS Bedrock is designed to work perfectly with services like S3 and Lambda. Azure OpenAI is woven right into the fabric of Microsoft 365. And Vertex AI, it's built to connect flawlessly with BigQuery. Each one of them is the undisputed champion inside its own universe. So we've seen their strengths, we've seen their weaknesses. Now we get to the most important part. Let's move on from just comparing features to figuring out which of these platforms is the right strategic move for you and your organization.
Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. There is no single best platform for everyone. It just doesn't exist. The only thing that really matters is which one is the best for your specific team, your existing tech, and what you're actually trying to achieve. So let's map it out.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Let's just walk through it. If you're already a dedicated AWS shop and your big priority is having flexibility with models, then Bedrock is just the natural choice. If your entire company runs on Microsoft 365 and you absolutely must have Enterprise GPT-4, well, Azure OpenAI is the obvious answer. And if you're on Google Cloud and your main goal is to do some serious custom machine learning with data from BigQuery, then Vertex AI was practically made for you.
We've looked at all these different angles, but you know what? For most businesses out there, this whole complex decision really just boils down to one single, overwhelming factor. A factor that pretty much makes the decision for you.
Seriously, it is almost this simple. Just look at where your company's data already is, look at where your developers already have skills. For the vast majority of companies, the path of least resistance, the path with the deepest integration, is the right one. The headache and cost of moving to a whole new cloud just for its AI services is almost never worth it.
And that's really the bottom line. Let's just let that sink in for a second. We can debate the little features all day long, but the deep integration benefits, the existing billing, the security you already have set up, those advantages with your current cloud provider will almost always outweigh any small differences between the platforms.
All right, so let's just wrap this up with the three big takeaways. Number one, you really can't go wrong here. All three of these are incredible enterprise-ready platforms. Number two, the best technical choice really does depend on your main goal. Is it model choice, GPT-4 access, or custom training? But number three, and this is the big one, the best business choice is almost always to stick with the cloud provider you're already with.
And that brings us to one last question, something to really think about for the future. Right now, your cloud ecosystem is king. It has this incredible gravity. But what happens as the AI models themselves become more like interchangeable parts, more like commodities? Will that gravitational pull of your current cloud provider start to weaken? Could we see a future where picking an AI platform is a totally separate decision from picking your cloud? That is the billion-dollar question for tomorrow.